Microsoft and Google going at it in the battle over business software. We'll have that and so much more right here, right now on Digits. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Simon Constable. I'm going to go straight out to the West Coast where Shira Ovide is standing by. Shira, thank you very much for being there. I hope it's cooler in San Francisco than it is here.
About 60 degrees, actually.
Oh, lovely. That sounds delightful about the temperature in the office here. So tell us, Microsoft, well known for having business software, we all use it. Google muscling in, how are they doing it?
Yeah, so the last 5 years or so, Google has offered to businesses a version of sort of Gmail and Google Docs. So it's kind of an Office-like bundle of services for a relatively easy to understand fee of $50 per user per month. And it's been kind of a hobby for Google for a long time, maybe still is, depending on who you ask. But they're starting to see signs that Microsoft is getting worried enough about competition from Google to change the way that it offers its big cash cow, Microsoft Office.
And so what is Microsoft doing to try and challenge this?
So they've done a few things. One is they've cut prices by about 20% for a web-based version of Microsoft Office known as Office 365. They also changed just in the last week or so the commission structure so that resellers who sell Office 365 to businesses now have a chance to earn commissions that are a little richer than what they'd get selling Google Apps, the Google challenger. And we're also going to see more kind of web-friendly features for Office coming, today and going forward.
Okay. Now, part of the issue here for businesses has got to be cost. And in your story, you talk about a company called Dominion that was paying $2 million a year to Microsoft, which is a lot of money. And now, what does it pay for Google Apps?
Yeah, so it's paying about $200,000 a year for its 4,000 employees to have Google Apps. It's not a total apples-to-apples service. The thing about most businesses is that you can never get rid of all Microsoft software. There's so much kind of servers and other database software that are running various versions of Office. Dominion, as you mentioned in our story, they're still paying Microsoft for those kind of services, but they were able to essentially stop for most of their employees using Microsoft Office.
So, that's basically well over $1 million, but possibly over $1.5 million savings, depending, even if you take the other stuff. That's compelling as far as I can see. Businesses are in a tough time these days, right?
Yeah, right. Money does matter. Obviously, what Microsoft will say is that cost isn't everything, and that there's all kinds of hidden costs for businesses to implement Google Apps. It doesn't work right with certain things. You have to buy add-ons. And of course, Microsoft has been stressing value and the ease and of their services over cost.
That's interesting, them doing that. I know my history with Microsoft hasn't been always fun in the office here. How does the quality of the products, Microsoft Word, for instance, the most commonly used thing, has been around for forever and it's gotten better and better and better. How does Google Apps Word equivalent do?
Well, I think it depends on who you are, right? I think for a lot of people, Microsoft Word, they know it. They know where all the features are, all the commands. The Google version of document software, it's perfectly fine for a lot of people. There's this whole new phenomenon of the sort of good enough software that maybe it doesn't have as many features for power users as Microsoft Office, but for most people who are, writing letters to their grandkids or whatever, Google Docs might be just fine.
So is Microsoft right to be worried about Google? I don't know a single person who uses the Google Apps. I think we all use Gmail and have used the Google Docs, which is on there, but not the app side of it. This seems to me to be kind of a tiny part of the market. Or is that how things change and how they start?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. That's the crucial question, really. Right now, though, you're not seeing any financial hurt on Microsoft Office. It's the biggest, it's more than half of Microsoft's total operating profit, shows no signs of slowing down so far. The risk is kind of longer term, that if more people like Dominion, the company in the story, if they turn off these lucrative multi-year contracts with Microsoft because there are other offerings they can use as a supplement, then that's a risk for Microsoft. As more businesses push into, so-called cloud services, these services that are offered kind of on a web-only basis rather than installed on computer hard drives, that's also a risk to Microsoft because it kind of opens up the marketplace for non-Microsoft rivals.
It certainly does. Very, very interesting. That would be a big change. Stay with us, Shira.